Hi everyone. Well, we're back. Greetings. Um,
Finally.
Hello. It's been too long. I'm Seymour Segnet, the founder of MAGFAST. I think you probably know me, but let me introduce the power behind MAGFAST. In the order that they're on my screen, let's go directly to the right. Rex Northern. Rex and I have worked together for decades now. Um, uh, Special projects director, we call Rex, because when there's really important, something new and important to get done, we always put Rex in on it. Jason's joining us as a guest from Net Capital, the world's greatest funding portal for young companies, the founder. We're very proud we get to spend so much time with you, Jason. We really are. And he's been one of the two coaches joining us today. The other, John Fanning Sr., only the founder of Napster, that changed the music, film, and streaming industries forever. Number one site on the internet a little while ago now, but a very substantial figure in the history of entrepreneurism. Catherine Eleanor Kennard, who works with us all day, every day, and just as well as the incredible work she does here, keeps the trains running on time. And Philip, and Philip, we've pulled him out from the background. He's run these shows for us for years, and we finally got him in front of the camera. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate you doing that, because I think people are going to come to appreciate your contribution as well. So this what we decided to do was, we think it's really important to be in touch with you, of course, more often than we have been over the last few months. But there's also something called resources, right? Jason is the greatest coach for it. Look, we've got limited resources. There's only so many things we can do. And it's always felt like too much resource to do these shows every week. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back every week or two with this. I'm going to promise every week, but every week or two. And we're just going to get a group of us together, kind of in a Zoom room like this. Isn't actually Zoom, but just get a few of us together in a room. And we're just going to talk through what's going on. So it's going to be, I mean, hopefully you'll feel that you're joining some friends, some people you trust, in conversation about the business that we all love. So I'm just going to frame it up quickly, and then we'll let the group. I mean, I'll ask Rex to lead the group today, and we'll just have a conversation, get you up to date on some stuff that's going on, and then we'll be back every week or two to give you some more. So I'm just going to do a quick kind of 1, 2, 3. First of all, we're going to talk about the past a little bit. We've had to make some extremely tough decisions, not all of them popular decisions, internally and externally, but they are the decisions that we believe are right to reinvigorate the chance of MAGFAST becoming the really extraordinary global phenomenon that we've all believed for years that it can be. 2, we're going to talk about the present. The new MAGFAST is only possible because of your support, and we want to talk about that some more. But before we even start, I wanted to say thank you again so much for that. And then 3, we'll talk about the future, explain a little bit about the new team, the new opportunities. And we're not going to reveal them today, but maybe hint at some new products that are on their way. It's tantalizing for me, by the way, because I have new product samples. You see, I'm not in the studio. We're all just sitting at our desks. I have like new product samples sitting around me here right now, and I can't reveal them to you today. But it's super exciting.
Real quick, Seymour, I see a comment from Mike saying the audio wasn't working at /live where we sent people. I don't know, Mike, if that was your computer, or if it's a bigger issue, but y'all can go see us over at YouTube if that's not working for any reason.
And also, Kate, I just wanted to let you know we can finally get the party started because Diamond Dave is here from Oregon.
Hi, Dave.
That was it. I was just kind of treading water a bit, like what do they call it? What is it called when you fill for time? I think it might be called filling for time. I was filling for time until we saw Diamond Dave. I think now we can go. Oh, I just want to do one. I want to do one quick call out before we go. I've got this fantastic text message from one of our fans. When we said that we were going to start doing this again, Ken Hermer from out in California. Yay! I'm thrilled to receive your email, Seymour. Congratulations on your return and rejuvenation of the MAGFAST live stream. So thank you, Ken. Thank you, everyone else, for your encouragement.
Thank
Let's
you,
get this.
Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
And Mike said you were trying to say the word riffing. I think you were riffing to
Riffing,
fill the time.
riffing. I was riffing. Thank you. All right, so Rex, why don't you grab this and lead us through, because Rex did an outline for us.
Let's see where we go. Yes, thank you, Simos. So Simos mentioned I've worked with him for many years on and off in different worlds, and have been involved with MAGFAST for a few years now, and absolutely love obviously what the company represents, and really love the support that you guys have shown to this organization over the past few years, in good times and in difficult times more recently. And we wanted to bring together this little panel, if you like, of people who've been involved in some of the very tough decisions that we've taken over the past few months, and talk about them and explain what's going on, and talk about your role in making them work, and to say thank you to you. And we're going to finish up by answering some of your key questions. So the very first piece of this puzzle is to talk about a little bit of the recent history, because you haven't seen very much of us recently. We want to tell you about what's been going on inside MAGFAST, and we wanted to talk to you about the changes that have taken place. And those changes have taken place across the board. We've had changes in the team. We've had changes in the product range. We've had changes in our strategic direction and the things that we do on a daily basis tactically. We've had changes in the way that we produce new products and engineering and all the rest of it. And because Jason and John have been sort of new members helping us a little bit with that, I'm going to ask them in a moment to jump in and talk about what they think of what we've been doing and the advice that they've been giving us and the help that they've been giving us in terms of what we're going to do next. But we won't talk about that quite now. Just for a few minutes, we'll talk about the past of this. And I think the most important thing that we have done, gentlemen and lady Katie Kate, is that we have been doing less. We've been pruning. We've been doing a Steve Jobs returning to Apple. We've been cutting back. And it's made a very big difference. I think that Seymour will agree that attempting to do less and to do less better has been a major, major, major shift. So maybe I could turn to you, Jason, and talk a little bit about you and Nick Campbell's perspective.
Why would I be the name you'd think of there?
Because Jason's doing less. That's what Rex is saying.
Why would you have a role in any of this, Jason? Yes.
I think that's
less is more.
That's generally my mantra in business is we want to be the best in the world at something. And so when I think of MAGFAST, and I think we had this conversation, Seymour and Rex and Philip and Kate, which is what is it that we want to be the best in the world at? What do we want MAGFAST to be known for? And then let's write that down on one of Seymour's whiteboards and chart the path to get there. What do we actually need to do to accomplish that goal? And once we're there, then we can overachieve on our own accomplishments. But what's really hard is to try to overachieve at 7 different things at the same time. And your team at MAGFAST is really brilliant, very smart, very capable. And as a result, there's so much you can do really well. And that makes it almost harder to try to narrow down the focus, because you have so many options of great products that you can build. You're so good at building product. You're so good at resonating with your own customer base and getting people excited about the products that you build. I think that makes it harder sometimes to narrow in and choose, okay, what do we want to do next? And I do think that you guys have made a lot of progress on that front, and I'm excited to see what comes next, and that it's the best in the world at what it does.
And just to reinforce the point, a really good point that Jason's making, MAGFAST also has built and been the best in the world at multiple products at particular points in time. But we also had to take a really hard look at some of those products that now probably weren't the best in the world, and where some competitors had, as competitors will do, have leapfrogged us a little bit. And we've had to make some hard choices, and we've had to say, you know what, it was the best in the world, but it's really not the best in the world anymore. And we're going to have to discontinue these products because it's not meeting our very high standards. And whenever you do that, you have to take a hard look, and you have to say, okay, well, we want to be the best in the world. What do we need to do to now leapfrog our competitors that have leapfrogged us? And one of the things over the last couple of months that I've been working here at MAGFAST, as an advisor, that I've really come to appreciate is the phenomenal effort that Rex has contributed. And he and I together have worked on deals that have given us the ability, having closed some new deals and new relationships, the ability to actually be the best in the world in some very exciting areas. And I myself don't believe that I could have accomplished these things without Rex and his ability alongside me to do it. So I'm really enjoying, the new relationship with Rex and the things. We can't talk too much about them, obviously, but the things that we've already been able to accomplish together.
It's a great team, and thank you guys for joining it and helping us in so many ways. It's also worth pointing out that we weren't very good at getting products into the market. MAGFAST has not been good at delivering products on time, and a lot of these changes will, as you will see, will allow us to do things that we have been good at in the past. And do those things better, and things that we have not been good at in the past, and do those things significantly better. So John is right. There are some very, very interesting, exciting new things coming along that we can't tell you about yet, but they're on their way. Okay, so that's a sort of major. Yes, carry on. Sorry. Go.
I want to hint at, Jason was saying, be the very best in the world at something. And I want to kind of hint at what that might be. It's not particularly surprising, but it's just the charging that everybody needs every day. It's amazing how many complicated, different. You go to most companies, and they've got all the, including, frankly, MAGFAST in the past, all these kind of clever, different chargers. But there's this basic thing that we all need every day, which is to get a great charge quickly whenever we need it, right? And there's two ways of doing that these days, with the USB-C cable, which is now the global standard, fantastic, and then this magnetic charging. Let me show you quickly here. This is a great product, competitor's product, by the way. Love the guys at Nomad, really fantastic products. Boom. You just put your phone right on it, starts to charge. And the latest version of this technology is called Qi 2, built on the Apple MAGFAST standard. It's now going across the whole industry. So as we said, we're going to be focusing in on those two. And then what's the super simple, super delightful, super fast experience that everyone is just going to love every day? And we've got some exciting stuff coming in the I was going to say the weeks, but in the months and quarters ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to come back and talk a little tiny bit more, not about the specific products, but about how we're getting there. We're going to talk more about this team and the amazing John Fanning and the amazing Jason Frischman and the additional horsepower that they give us. We're going to come back, but for a second or two, we're going to jump into talking about you. That is everyone who's here with us today and the people who aren't. Because really, it's been an extraordinary period for MAGFAST, and frankly, we couldn't have got to this point without you. There's been across the board support for the changes that we've been making, even though they've caused many people quite a lot of pain. And it is true to say, and Seymour has said it on MAGFAST's behalf too many times, that if we hadn't had the support of everyone that's in the room here and that's around us, then we would have had to shut MAGFAST down. It was, we reached that moment, and I don't know if you want to kind of talk a bit about how you feel about that, Seymour, again. But I mean, I know that all of us here are incredibly grateful for the fact that you have stuck with us in spite of all the pruning and the changes and the promise for the future that we are having to make now. And we believe that your patience and your support will be rewarded.
I would just be repeating that. It's been simply extraordinary. You're incredible, and just know that everyone's working flat out at it all the time. But we are human, unfortunately. So we. I've mentioned this on these live streams before. There's academic research, I believe, that 70% of all decisions that humans make are wrong, and the trick is to make them and quickly get on with, correcting them. So we certainly made our share of mistakes, and we'll continue to do so. But we do aim to be very fast and smart about correcting them. How's that for fun?
But the important thing there, Seymour, I think, to quote Michael Jordan, or maybe it was Wayne Gretzky, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
We're all about taking shots.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, a shot we've taken, and a shot that has worked out pretty well, but too long, to work out pretty well is MAGBucks. So MAGBucks, as you all know, I think everyone here will know, is the mechanism that we've been using to say a big mea culpa. We didn't get there with some of the products. It's taken longer than expected to get the whole MAGBucks rollout completed. We have the extraordinary Amanda, who's been working behind the scenes, and a team of people who've been actually doing the reconciliation required. It's taken longer than expected because there are just a very large number of units we're talking about. How many, Katie? Kate, how many units have we shipped to how many people?
Over 185,000 units to over 20,000 different customers.
Shit. So with that kind of scale, you can imagine that the screw up isn't tiny either, and just making sure that we get the numbers. Because the thing is, there's no point in saying we're going to give you MAGBucks and then missing something in the data and not giving you the buck. So it has taken significantly longer. I'm going to call out Amanda Matthews, who will have join us one of these weeks to tell us a bit more about it. But just a uniquely smart, passionate, compassionate, dedicated individual. She's been a friend of MAGFAST for years. She actually worked with us in the early days, went off for a while. Data scientist, database genius. But there's this fantastic side benefit. It's not really a side benefit. It's a core benefit of this work that she's done, reconciling all of the past. It's all now come into a single database. And anyone watching who has ever run a small business or even a small household and just found that information is in different places, Mrs. Smith from number 3 has a new mobile number. I put it in my address book, but my wife doesn't have it and is getting frustrated calling the old number. Imagine multiplying those inefficiencies in a business. And so what Amanda has done is now brought all of the different disparate sources of information, databases down into one place. It's not very if you run a business, it's like the most exciting thing you can imagine. It's not going to sound that exciting during this, but it will mean that customer service will be able to answer questions way more quickly, and it's the foundation of a much more efficient future.
Sorry, I saw a question about what is MAGBucks. I don't think that everyone has watched or listened or read what we've said. So do we want to give just like a quick, what are MAGBucks?
Okay, why didn't you go for it?
Okay, well, MAGBucks. So if you haven't received anything, or if you've received part of your order and you're still waiting on another part of your order, we are going to give you something called MAGBucks, which are different than the points that you already have. We have our MAGFAST Club Rewards points. This is completely separate. And MAGBucks are worth $1. You have one MAGBuck, that's $1. And you will get double the retail value of what is unshipped. So if you had a special deal, you paid way less than the retail value, that doesn't matter. We will still double the retail value of what you ordered. So if you ordered something that's $100 for retail value, you will get $200 worth of MAGBucks to spend in our store.
Yeah.
So it's a mechanism. Sorry, Kerry, you're going to say something.
Well, I was just going to say, and so it's important to, for customers who ordered products and those products were discontinued before we ever got to ship them because we got the feeling that like these products were no longer the best in the world and we probably shouldn't continue to ship them. This is a way to get customers double the value for the order that they gave us. And so, we've had questions from customers who say, look, where's my order? I've been waiting a long time. Why haven't I gotten it? Love the company, but you're not being very responsive. And, we agree and we understand. And what we want to do is we want to make it right. And we're going to try very hard to make it right. And so giving you with this MAGBucks feature, double the value, we think is a way for us to kind of make up for the people who, 180,000 is a lot of people. And it's hard to get 180,000 people 100% happy.
It's 180,000 products shipped, but you're right, John. The numbers. Look, Scott Herron has just posted on X. We're streaming on the platform formerly known as Twitter. Where's my order? Why does it take half a century to get it? And he's had difficulty getting a response from customer care. Customer care, by the way, does reply to everything without fail, but it's the team's been cut back and so on. So it's not as fast as we want to be at the moment. Scott, thank you. He does go on to say, love the product, just hate the wait. So thank you, Scott. That's entirely fair. We can't turn everything around overnight, but boy, we're working hard at it. And I will tell you this about the delightful and placid John Fanning who sits before you. He's not a patient man. He wouldn't still be here half a year later if he didn't see things moving. He has many, many fine qualities. Patience is not at the top of that list.
Very well said. And many of you do have more specific questions about MagBucks. We're going to come on to answer them. MagBucks are there for the things that we didn't ship, and it's not good that we didn't ship those every single one of the pre-orders by any means. The reconciliation is done. You will get your MagBucks. We will come on to answer your specific questions, and customer care, once they're rolled out, will be able to answer those questions much more rapidly than they have while that process has been taking place.
Yeah.
And another thing that I like to point out to companies that I work with and mentor is that we're all human. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody fails. So, when people like Scott hold those opinions, they're 100% valid. And so what I coach and mentor is the mark of a great company is not whether or not you fail and whether or not you make mistakes. It's how you respond once you learn that a mistake has been made. And when I look at the people at MAGFAST, they acknowledge their mistakes, they recognize their mistakes, and they're making changes based on what they've learned from the mistakes they've made in the past. And I think the mark of a great company is how you respond once you do make mistakes and how you learn from them.
Thank
so
you.
The future.
I mean, it's a good general rule for life. It ain't what happens; it's how you respond to it. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Really importantly, and then on Max's side, it wants to update the software. Not everybody likes what we're doing. Not everyone's happy, but it's worth pointing out that out of the many tens of thousands of customers been involved, of which some 22,000 have received products. Some people think that there's some kind of weird stuff going on here. Kate, you've probably got a few examples of this.
What was that? Do you have, Kate? I asked you to look it up. There's that. Someone said they're on Trustpilot or something, saying that we've done a bait and switch.
Yes. So someone said this is Paul. I won't out his last name, but Paul left an online review. He said this company pulled a bait and switch on a lot of their customers, and that's simply not true. And
listen, hang on. But first of all, I want to honor Paul for speaking his truth. Paul and anyone else who thinks that we like every day for many years now, we've just got up and tried to do the best that we can. There were a series of extreme challenges. And people say, they say that they make COVID as an excuse. Actually, COVID didn't help, but wasn't it. We chose, we selected some wrong partners earlier on. We were too slow to move on from those relationships, and a series of other things as well. But now we are making the necessary changes, but we can't make changes that put us out of business. If we're going to, which was a real. I mean, John and I met. God bless you, John, for calling me, because John had known about us for a while because he was one of the people who helped Jason to get Net Capital off the ground back in the day. So he'd known about our work for a while, and when he heard that there were real challenges, he called me up one day. I've told people individually this before, but I want to tell you the very first word that John Fanning Sr., the founder of Napster, ever said to me, right? Because this was a seminal, I mean, really, truly a life changing. In your life, you have a handful of conversations that change everything, and this was one of them for me. March 7th, somewhere around there of this year, towards the end of that week. And I saw the phone ring, and I'd heard that there might be this call coming in, and I sort of picked it up rather nervously. And there was this, I said, hello, Seymour Segnet. And I heard this huge voice from the other end of the phone, Seymour! And I cannot tell you, I'm getting goosebumps just telling you about it now. But it was like, oh my God, someone who actually understands this has just given me this kind of like a bear hug that if it were any bigger would have expelled the air from my lungs. And it has extended this to the whole of MAGFAST. And now with a new type of thinking and a new type of sort of boldness, we have a chance to turn this thing around. So thank you again, John. But it means some tough decisions. Smaller team, cutting back on the product. Keep it. We have America's highest rated smartphone cable. I urge you to use your MagBucks to get some more of them. We also have some investors, by the way, from the April round, and we'll do another chance to invest before too long. But the April round, you guys are getting, have got, or are getting shortly some dollars that were part of your deal for investors. I think everybody. Whoa! I think everybody who invested over $500 has got some dollars to spend. Please, as investors, please go spend them right now on the amazing world-class inventory that is in stock. There'll be cool stuff coming down the line. We'll make sure you get a great deal on the cool stuff when it arrives. But right now, the best thing to do with your bucks is to spend. The best thing for the company is for you to collect this fantastic inventory that's in stock and ready to go, and we'll be with you in a few days.
And we haven't sent the investor gift voucher email out. So if you're panicking, saying I didn't get my email, it's coming in the next day or two. Don't worry.
Yeah, because I was working on it with Kate a few days ago. All right, so that'll be with you in the next day or two as well. Yeah. That has also taken too long. It's because we've been so busy. But you'll have those in a few days. So it's kind of like the reason you haven't heard from us is we've been working so hard getting to the point where we're kind of breaking through, and I feel that's where we are now. Yes, team.
Yep, definitely
breaking through. We're breaking through, and we know that plenty of people have some very specific questions because everyone is rightly saying. Many people are rightly saying, "I don't need any more cables." We're going to come on to talk to you a little bit about what's coming. It is very, very clear that not everyone can spend all their MagBucks on the existing product range. So we get that, and we'll talk some more about that.
I don't notice Dale is there. Has got a bunch of questions, but one of them is about the vouchers, the vacation vouchers. Is going. Yep, absolutely. All of this is set up and coming short. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but within the next. Single-digit number of low single-digit number of weeks, you'll be getting those as well. So this is, but to get there, there's just been a lot of housekeeping to sort out, and that is, we're on the final,
the home straight,
the final kind of
home stretch.
Home
straight. I think that's English. Home stretch is American.
We're on the home straight, people.
Oh, that's funny. Real quick before we continue, I know Jason has another appointment he has to get to, so he's going to have to head out. So I just wanted to make sure we all say bye to Jason before he leaves.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jason. Will you join us again soon, please?
Of course. Yes. Anytime, Seymour.
Is there anything you'd like to say before you go, Jason?
Just that I believe in you guys. I believe in the team. I really do believe in the MAGFAST team. And John talked to me, soon prior to the call that you just described, and what I said to John was, look, these are just great people, and I think they bit off a little more than they can chew, but they know what they're doing. And you guys have a talent, you have a unique ability to create product and get people excited about product that we don't see very often. And at Net Capital, we work with companies day in, day out, all day long, and so we see a high volume of startups, a high volume of entrepreneurs, a high volume of operational teams, and we've always been very impressed by MAGFAST. You're very responsive, you're very diligent, and you have your priorities right, and you care. You genuinely care. I know there are a lot of people, I'm sure, out there that are disappointed for a variety of reasons, like you mentioned, but I assure you, this team cares a lot, and they're doing what they think is in the best interest of everybody and the company, and we just have to move at the speed of trust with respect to that.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. See you later, Jason.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
So this team is only bolstered by the additional help we get from people like Jason and from John. It's been remarkable, and I think this is not a case of 1+1 = 3, but 1+1 = 73. You know, it's been an extraordinary kind of shift for us. Now, when John and Jason and others got involved in this, as we kind of move on to what we're doing and how the future of MAGFAST looks, we really have managed to make a determination to build on the strengths of the company as it exists, and that is to do with direct to consumer marketing. Seymour is a world expert in this. He's a sort of true genius in that space. And there's that Katie Kate, who has come in and become this extraordinary presence on the web as a result of, I think, of just a little bit of coaching and a lot of talent. So thank you, Katie. It's been quite remarkable.
Thank you.
MAGFAST is a company with strengths and some weaknesses, which we have been working very hard to address. We're going to have fewer products. We talked about that. They're going to be, those products will be fully funded. They will be in stock by the time you can place orders for them in future. And there will be some significant new distribution opportunities. John has touched on this. We've been working on some things which make the kind of planning and the strategy that the company does, let's call it holistic. We'll talk about a scenario where by the time a new product comes out, there will be significant distribution opportunities for those products. The products themselves won't always be streets ahead of all the alternatives, but some of them will be. Some of them will be standard setters. And if you get a chance to look at the new investor presentation that we will at some stage be releasing, then you'll start to see some of the ways that we are doing absolutely unique things, the very best products in the space in certain areas, and they're going to be very exciting when we can start talking to you about them. They'll be targeted products, they'll be for specific markets, and we'll understand those markets before we do. It's also worth mentioning that MAGFAST has a very efficient and very exciting new methodology for getting new products developed, and where a product was taking years, literally, which is almost insane, and it's certainly embarrassing for the companies to recognize that the early manufacturing process that we use, the early engineering process, could take such a long time. We've now made some big changes that are proven because, and I think, Seymour, you want to talk to us maybe a little bit about a new member of the team.
Well, I was just going to say, so during some of the most challenging times, kind of a couple of years ago, we had a product that had just been stuck. It was driving all of us completely crazy. A product that had been stuck with the folks who were working on it, and we found this guy, Jack Chen. Hey, Jack, watching now, and Jack he added it up for us the other day, has in his career project managed something like 112 power banks or something. And it's crazy number of chargers. Each of those a very significant project. And he came in and solved the problem that we were dealing with then very, very quickly indeed. And just within the last couple of days, we have secured Jack's services full time to work on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so kind of 7 or 8 different projects that are now underway. 7 or 8 sounds like a lot because remember we're reducing, but some of those are developing like a technology that's going to be common to several other products and so on. And some of them are simpler products that we need to just kind of sort of fill out the selection. More to come on that, but welcome on board, Jack.
Yep, very good. And more to come in terms of what will happen. It won't affect you as an individual that we've got a product that comes to market and there's a very big distribution deal for it or a very exciting way of getting into places where you will see those things. But it will mean that MAGFAST will have the opportunity to drive volume, to drive costs down per unit and so forth. So we expect to see some very good things. And again, John, extraordinary. It's extraordinary what a difference it makes to us to have your kinds of connections being brought to bear on something like this. So thank you again. All right. We should get to questions. We should get to questions because we do have a few questions we get repeatedly from our customers.
And we should do that fairly quickly because we want to be back often doing this, but not take
exactly.
too much. we could have felt that this first one was going to run a little longer. We'll aim to keep it tighter in future, but right now let's just hit the top
Well,
three.
let me ask the first question. I don't know if this is going to anger you, Seymour, but I really like Dale DeLue's question. He asked a question which I don't know the answer to, but I think it's a really good question. He said, "What's your phone number? Like, how do I get in touch with you?" And again, 180,000 products shipped to tens of thousands of customers. Seymour can't answer phone calls, but on the other hand, rather than focus on what's in the past, I like to look at what's in the future, and I really do see the opportunity to build an Apple-like company. And I think Dale is right. With Apple, you call Apple on the phone, somebody answers the phone, you have a problem, they fix it.
Yep.
So that's a good.
The answer is same as it's always been: 863 MAGFAST, which is a free phone number.
He's saying it doesn't work. I think he called during that small period of time.
Yeah, there was the thing about like everything's complicated these days, right? So 10 days ago, was it, or a week ago or something, there was a short window during which something wasn't connected to something, and we figured it out as soon as we knew about it. So I'm hoping that was the period he was referring to. But yeah, 863 MAGFAST.
Mm-hmm.
So, Katie,
but I wanted to say, customer care is behind at the moment. It's not your job to not get in touch with customer care, but if you've already sent in 10 tickets, sending in 11 doesn't help us to answer your question or anybody else's faster. Yep. Only a few people do that, but it's actually a very small number of people actually produce the tickets that have us quite so far behind. So
the old 80-20 rule, we probably do get some of you who will send the same question 16 times, and it doesn't actually get the question answered more quickly, and it slows down. But one of the things we can do is on these live streams is go to the questions that lots of people are asking and see if we can answer them in a way that is broadcast rather than individual. So, Katie, do you want to just jump in and pick out some of those things we heard from?
Let's take the top three now, and we're going to do questions every time we do this. We're going to do questions, and we'll allocate, because we're kind of squeezing a few in at the end here. We'll allocate more time in future.
Okay, so I mean, the first, I'll two questions into one. When are we getting Lux Pro and PowerBrick Pro?
PowerBrick Pro is in stock. We were just waiting for the data work to be completed. So that's a PowerBrick Pro. So that's the guy that looks like this is a black one, but the charger that looks like that. The very simple, just straight down the line brick that you need every day. Lux Pro. Oh, hello. Again, has taken a while since we first mentioned it, but remember, for a while we didn't think we were going to get to do anything again. So Lux Pro is on the way here. It is beautiful. I'm actually speaking to you right now. My laptop is getting its power from Lux Pro. I'm looking at you guys on a video screen down the same cable, Lux Pro. So we've got a high definition screen. My camera is on the same Lux Pro. And I'm also connected to, I'm not on wireless, I'm connected to Ethernet. So down the one cable, I've got high power, fast internet, high definition camera and screen all going down. That's what I use all day, every day now. It's absolutely fantastic. We just got in overnight, I think the night before last, the color chip samples. So the colors that we selected, the Alpine white, obviously, but then there's the seafoam green and the juice orange and the sunshine yellow and the candy pink.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for the candy pink. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Getting them just right. We've got the color matches in on that. So production on those will be starting soon. The mold, right? Because remember, one of the things is that most cables don't have a very pretty end on them. We have this beautiful curved shape on the end here. This sample was made from the mold. It's beautiful. The only thing is we're just asking for some slight changes to the flexibility of this cable. It's not quite in the slinky place we want it to be. So we're still a little ways out, but it's very much on the docket and moving quickly. And actually, part of getting Jack involved, I mentioned Jack a few minutes ago. Jack and Katie are going to be working like across all areas of the company to make sure that we've got proper, what are they called, Gantt charts. So proper Gantt charts and planning across everything. companies tend to either have them or not have them, and we've decided we need to be one of the companies that has the Gantt charts. So,
and let's just acknowledge why people are asking these questions. I mean, people have been waiting for some while, but they're also looking for somewhere you can spend your Mac bucks, right? So we need to get crisp with these answers.
Yep.
All right. Katie, do you want to talk about the two places you can hold your pre-orders? The older Pro Kit and so forth?
Yeah, so we've talked about this before, but I know it could be a little confusing that there's two different customer accounts. If you have an older Pro Kit, you're in one customer account. If you have newer like Lux cables or Heathrow, that's in a different account. That won't matter anymore. Once you get your MagBucks, your MagBucks will be in one account. Your Lux will be in that account where your MagBucks are. It won't matter. So I would just say, just wait for your MagBucks, and then you'll just have one account to look at.
And they're coming soon. And this whole having one customer, like we call it My MagFast, the place where you log in, and the goal is to have everything that you would need all together in one place. I know that sounds like, well, of course you would do that, but the problem is when you get into business here, the information is held in different places because you're renting your online store from these people, and you're renting your customer service system from these people, and you're renting, you're honored to be working with Net Capital for your share offerings in this place over here. So you've got this data in all these different places. Actually displaying it all in a coherent way is a tougher job than you might think.
But that world is changing. That consolidation step, and as we said, we really do need to let people go. Why don't we give Mr. Fanning the last word in terms of something else that's coming up? Maybe, John, you could talk obliquely about something exciting we've been working on that's coming out at CES in January.
Well, I can do that. I think it's important for people to know that business is hard. Entrepreneurship is brutally hard. It's one of the hardest things you do. You have to work hard on it every day. It's easy to get discouraged, and you can't let failures in the past haunt you. Yet you have to acknowledge them, you have to learn from them, and you have to put them behind you. And hopefully, customers can do the same. We're in this together. We're in this. It's a journey. We're not always going to come through for you. But we do always care, and we're going to do our best. And I think looking to the future, one of the things I'm excited about is being the best in the world at something. And I think Seymour alluded to it earlier. I think we all want power. We want power every day, and we want power as fast as we can get power. And I think we could very rapidly, given some of the advances in some of the technologies that we have, become the most powerful company in the world by delivering to our customers power faster than anybody else.
That was nicely oblique. Very good. I like it. So we're going to be doing some very, very exciting, powerful things. And many of you have pointed out that MAGFAST hasn't participated in trade shows. We are going to be participating. We certainly have plans to participate in a quite exciting way at the Consumer Electronics Show, the CES in Las Vegas in January, at which we'll be making, we believe, a significant announcement. So there we go.
Okay.
We've got to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to hear one word out of Philip before we go, because he's actually the smartest person in the room. Are we on track, Philip?
I think we are. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. I think everyone will like it as soon as we make some nice renders of it. Because right now everything is just in our heads. So we know what's coming up, but they don't. But they'll know soon enough.
Give a word. Sorry, we should just give a word about Philip, because Philip has a really big role to play in terms not only of the way that new products look in the MAGFAST stable of products, but also really digging quite deep into the engineering side of things. So Philip, you've just been remarkable over the past few months and really stepped into that role in a way that none of us, I think, expected. So thank you.
Well, I've been working with Philip on a daily basis on these new products, and I can tell you, these are products that excite me. The work that he is doing on these products excite me. I get up every day excited to see the new developments on these new products, and that doesn't happen to me. It happens to me like once a decade, and the product usually turns out to be pretty good when I get excited about them. But he is working day in and day out to make products that are incredible, the best in the world, and I think once they come to market, I think they will be some of the most viral consumer products in the market. But it's hard. You have to work on it every day, and having Philip there on calls every day, working day in and day out on engineering is really a privilege and an honor. And he's part of the group of people that make the future possible, and it's fun to work with. So thank you for that, Philip. It's been great to work with you.
Yay, Philip.
Beautiful. We're going to wrap it for now. Thank you. We've run very unusual with me at the helm, but we've run over this time. But we will be we'll be back, as I say, every week or two from here on out. Thank you so much. There'll be different little kind of rotating kind of cast here, but there'll be familiar faces every week and one or two folks that you haven't met before. So thank you again for being a part of MAGFAST, for sticking with us, and we will see you at the next one.